All right, let's talk about the IELTS Speaking Part 2, the long turn. It's probably the part of the test that freaks people out the most. But today, our mission is simple. We're going to give you a clear strategy to not just get through it, but to actually nail that Band 5 score. Let's just get right to it, right? The big question everybody has is, how on earth do you talk for 2 whole minutes without completely freezing up or running out of things to say? It feels like a massive challenge for sure, but don't worry, we're going to break it all down.
Okay, before we jump into the how-to, we've got to understand what we're up against. Size up the challenge. We'll look at what this long-term really is, and more importantly, the common mistakes that catch so many people out.
So, here's the deal with this part of the test. The whole thing is over in like 3 to 4 minutes. They hand you a cue card with a topic, plus a pencil and some paper, then boom, the clock starts. You get exactly 1 minute, 60 seconds to prep. After that, you've got to speak for 1 to 2 minutes on whatever's on that card.
All right, pay attention here, because these are the absolute classic score killers. I'm talking about speaking for less than a minute, totally forgetting one of the bullet points, rambling off topic, or, those super long, awkward pauses. These are exactly the traps that prevent people from hitting that Band 5. So we're going to make sure that's not you.
You know what's funny? Your success in that 2-minute talk, it doesn't actually start when you begin speaking. Nope. It all begins in what I like to call the golden minute of preparation. Let's dive into how to make every single one of those seconds count.
Just 60 seconds. I know, it feels like it's over in the blink of an eye, but trust me, if you have a plan, it is more than enough time. So here's how you break that minute down so you don't panic. For the first 15 seconds, just read the card, really understand what it's asking. The next 15 seconds, brainstorm a quick idea and decide on your story. Then you've got another 15 seconds to just jot down a few key words. And those last 15 seconds, just think about a super simple way to start and finish. That's it. Totally manageable, right? Now, let's talk about your notes. They have one job and one job only, to be little reminders for your brain. They are not a script, so please just use keywords, maybe some abbreviations. Don't even think about writing full sentences, and who cares about spelling? Seriously, nobody is ever going to see these notes except you. All right, so you've used your prep time wisely. Now let's talk about the structure of your actual 2-minute speech. How do you build a story that's easy to follow and, actually sounds impressive?
Think of this as your 2-minute recipe. You start with a quick 15-second intro just to get things rolling. Then you spend the big chunk of your time, a solid 90 seconds, on the main content. That's the heart of your story. And finally, you wrap it all up with a nice, clean 15-second conclusion. See where all the action is? It's right there in the middle, in the details.
So for that big 90-second section, I've got a fantastic tool for you, the IDEAL model, IDEAL. It's basically a mental checklist to keep you on track. You introduce the topic, you give the details, that means answering the bullet points on the card. Then you give an example to make your story real. You analyze it a little, like why was this important to you? And finally, you link it all together in your conclusion. If you follow this, you literally can't get lost.
Okay, but how do you actually connect all those ideas together so it doesn't sound choppy? The secret, my friend, is transition phrases. Think of them as the glue that holds your story together. They guide the examiner from one point to the next, and they make you sound way more organized and fluent.
And here are some of those secret weapons. They're super simple. If you want to add another idea, just say, "What's more?" or "additionally." If you're about to give an example, go with "for instance." Or if you're explaining something, try "the main reason is." Little phrases like these make a world of difference, seriously.
All right, I know what you might be thinking. This all sounds good in theory, but what happens when you get that cue card and it's a topic you know absolutely nothing about? Your mind just goes blank. What do you do then?
Okay, first things first, do not panic. I promise this happens. And you need to remember this, the examiner isn't testing your knowledge. They couldn't care less if you're an expert on historic buildings, they're just testing your English. So let's look at a few creative tricks to handle literally any topic they can throw at you. The magic word here is adapt. You've got to be flexible. So if the topic is, a historical building, and you're drawing a blank, just pivot. Bend the topic a little. Talk about your old school, or maybe a cool restaurant you went to. You can even borrow a story from a friend and tell it like it's yours. Or combine a few small experiences into one big story. It's totally fine.
This right here is the golden rule. No matter what, you never ever say,
I don't know anything about this. Don't do it. Your only job is to find a way to answer that question, even if it means getting a little creative. Okay, let's bring this all together. We're going to wrap up by looking at exactly what the examiners are listening for, and I'll give you a few final tips so you can walk into that test feeling ready to go.
So let's pull back the curtain a bit on the grading. To get a band 5, you do not have to be perfect. They actually expect you to hesitate a little. What they're really looking for is this: can you generally keep talking? Can you use some simple connecting words? Do you have enough vocabulary to talk about the topic, and can they understand you? That's it. That's the formula.
So when it's test day, here's your final game plan. Number 1, read the card carefully. Number 2, use that full minute to prepare. 3, shoot for the full 2 minutes of speaking time. And maybe the most important one, if you make a mistake or forget a word, just breathe and keep going. Don't let one little slip up throw you off your game.
Look, if you take away just one thing from all of this, let it be this. The goal here is not perfection, it's communication. The examiner simply wants to know if you can communicate your ideas. That's the whole point.
So with all these strategies in your back pocket, you're not just answering a question anymore. You're ready to tell a story. You've got a plan for that prep minute, you've got a structure for your talk, and you have tricks for any weird topic they might give you. So the only question left is, what's your 2-minute story going to be?